I'm not rehashing the bullcrap lawfare faux fabricated scandal against Matt Gaetz. I don't believe he's guilty of anything illegal, immoral. It pays dividends to get married young and keep your schmeckle in your pants. The dividends it pays cannot be measured except over a lifetime. When you're young, when you sleep around, to each their own, you're asking for trouble, or at the very least, you are increasing the likelihood of trouble. Matt Gaetz had a scandal, I don't even care to repeat it, nominated by Trump to be the next attorney general. Now, some people are surprised they didn't know Matt Gaetz was a lawyer. It's the same people who didn't know that Pete Hegseth is a decorated military veteran, because people are idiots. Trump nominates Florida Rep. Matt Gaetz for attorney general in surprise pick. I can tell you it's a surprise pick because the markets reacted accordingly. It is my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the attorney general of the United States. Trump wrote in a Truth Social announcement, "It will be an honor to serve as President Trump's attorney general," Gaetz posted on X. He's been a long time, he's a loyal supporter of the 45th president. Florida congressman had earned a reputation for being a thorn in the collective side of his House colleagues for his hard right stances in opposition to former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, leading to the Californians' removal of power in October 23. Matt is a gifted, tenacious attorney, trained at William Mary College of Law, who has distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reform at the Department of Justice. Few issues in America are more important than ending the partisan weaponization of our justice system. You don't need to read anymore, but you need to know this, and it's at the end. The attorney general position will require Senate approval. With Republicans having a majority, Gaetz could get through without Democrat approval, though even Republicans expressed skepticism about his chances of confirmation in the moments after the pick was announced. Who do we know the traitors are here? Can you imagine Gaetz replacing that derelict of duty, Merrick Garland? Can you imagine that? Who the Trump team has accused of going after Republicans and who also led a sex trafficking investigation into the Floridian, which the DOJ eventually dropped. They dropped it not after leaving the memory in the minds of so many, the smooth brains of so many, that Matt Gaetz must have had something to do with sex trafficking, because after all, they investigated him, right? You know, Matt Gaetz' investigation for sex trafficking by derelict of duty, Merrick Garland, a bastard who should be impeached and then charged and then tried and then convicted after a fair trial. That investigation for sex trafficking into Matt Gaetz is on the same moral and factual ground in the minds of the smooth-brained capital D Democrats as the allegations into Hunter Biden, crack pipe smoking, felonious gun acquisition. Matt Gaetz has gotten the nod, or at least the appointment from Trump. Got to get Senate approval, which he may or may not get. And then the question is this: are they pushing to see how far they can go in order to bring up, maybe at the end of the day, someone like a Ken Paxton will get the nomination. They'll say, sorry, Matt, looks like we might not have the votes. I'm sure you understand. It would have been nice. Let's go with Ken Paxton, who would have been badass to begin with, or a Bailey from Missouri, I think. A Bailey or a Paxton, because he's less extreme than a Matt Gaetz. That'll make you happy, you crying capital D Dem bums. And then you still get a badass in as attorney general. And the reality is, no attorney general would have been better than Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland is not just a bad attorney general. He is a corrupt POS, period. But the theory is that they're pushing through some hardline names to see how far they can push it and how many tears they can make flow from the faces of the worst people on earth. One of whom is Mary L. Trump. She's Trump's niece. She's not his sister. Mary Trump, she's an American psychologist, niece of the President Trump. So she's not the sister, everybody. She's among I don't often call people bitches, but I called her one on Twitter today. Remember, by elevating incompetent fascists like Hegseth, Gabbard, and Gaetz, the aim is to demoralize us. It's okay to be horrified by the injustice and insanity of it all, but instead of feeling helpless and withdrawing, let's get angry and fight. Oh yeah. Let me see. She changed her profile picture to something more reasonable, but still highly inaccurate. Mary Trump. This is a perfect segue to the next pick of the day. Just, have to remind her. Pete Hegseth, a man who did multiple tours of combat, earned 2 Bronze Stars among other military honors, defending your freedom to be a bitch, is the fascist? You need to look in the mirror. If you can still bear that sight, you disgusting excuse for a human, Mary L. Trump. I don't know that Matt Gaetz gets through. It would be such a big fat middle finger to the regime and to the corruption if he does. And Godspeed, Mr. Gaetz. I met him in person. I've seen him at least 2 times in person. I doubt he would ever remember having met me. He's making people cry, which is a darn good sign that you're making the right picks. We'll see what happens, fingers crossed. But now getting to Pete Hegseth, People don't know who Pete Hegseth is. I want to start with the dumbest of the dumb first. Yeah, let's start with Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. I'm noticing a trend among capital D Democrat female politicians. Dumb. And the only smart ones are the ones who eventually come over to the Republican side. Elizabeth Warren, it's not just that she's a pathological, disgusting liar. She defamed Nicholas Salmon and still, I don't think, has taken that tweet down because it's probably her most popular tweet. And she can't let go of that type of clout. Dumb as a doorknob, like a made in China doorknob, not like one of those fancy antique bronze or copper doorknobs. U.S. Senator from Massachusetts. So she's going to be one of these senators swearing in these picks. And if Elizabeth, if you're watching, you're a freaking moron. You should be ashamed of yourself. A Fox and Friends weekend co-host is not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. I led the Senate military personnel panel. All three of my brothers served in your uniform. I respect every one of our service members. Remember that word, you dumbass, when you find out that Pete is not just a service member, but a decorated service. Remember that, you godforsaken moron. Donald Trump's pick will make us less safe and must be rejected. This dumb idiot of a senator who's going to vote on the confirmation of Pete doesn't know that he has a rich military experience and is a decorated veteran. This is how dumb they are. Dumb, proud, and loud. Among the worst combinations on earth. Who else? Pacman. Can't expect much more from David Pacman. I mean, his name is Pacman. LOL. Trump nominated a random Fox News host to be Secretary of Defense of the United States. Can we get Tulsi to tell us how this is so great? I'm sure she would tell you how it's so great. You stupid, stupid human being. Can Tulsi Gabbard tell us how it's so great? Yeah. Mother effer. I judge Pacman because I doubt Pacman served. Maybe he did, and maybe I should check that before. Hold on. David Pacman, military service. I'm expected to find 0.0 months. David Pacman, born 1984. He's a young, loud-ass, ignorant piece of garbage as well. Look at this here. Nationality, Argentina, United States. Career. No, let's go. Early life. He was born to an Ashkenazi Jewish family. I wonder why Wikipedia always feels compelled to add that. And great, now I can hear everybody on the internet. Oh, look, we found another one. David Pacman, spreading propaganda, dumb as a doorknob, doesn't know Hegseth's military career. But let's just see here. And he grew up in Northampton, Massachusetts. Probably a very privileged lifestyle. Or fortunate, not privileged. Graduated from Northampton High School. Attended University of Massachusetts. Majored in economics and communications. He earned an MBA from Bentley University. Good for him. Career, he hosts the Pacman Show, a television show of the internet. Yeah, I don't care. Personal life. He'd be taking paternity leave in June 2022 after the birth of his first child and daughter. Is he married? Okay, I don't really care about that. So no military experience for Pacman. So why would Pacman know that Peter Hegseth is a decorated military veteran? But you can forgive the idiots for being idiots. The question is, can you forgive the people who should know better? Jason Crow. Now, why do I say this, by the way? Rep Jason Crow. Is he's a, let me see here. Congressman serving Colorado. Dad, yada, yada. Why do I say Jason Crow should know better? Jason Crow has military experience. Jason Crow, allegiance, military service, United States Army, 4 years of service, captain, airborne. I don't know what this is. Battles, Iraq war in Afghanistan, Bronze Star Medal. That guy is this guy. Unless I've got the wrong Jason Crow. Is it the wrong Jason Crow? Maybe it's the wrong Jason Crow. Hold on. No, that's the same Jason Crow. Jason Crow, Pete Hegseth is not remotely qualified to be Secretary of Defense. The SecDef makes life and death decisions daily that impact our 2 million troops around the globe. This is not an entry-level job for a TV commentator. The Senate should do its job and deny this nomination. This is a man who, according to Wikipedia, was awarded a Bronze Star Medal. Do you know who has one more than you on that? Peter Hegseth. And you don't know that, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Peter Hegseth, I said, over 2 decades of military experience, 2 Bronze Stars, among a slew of other. Let's read his awards. If you saw my vlog earlier today, you already know this. Awards: 2 times Bronze Star, Army Commendation Medal twice, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Expert Infantryman Badge, Combat Infantryman Badge. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 awards. I mean, the question is this: did Jason Crow just not know? The scumbag says, what did he say? I don't want to misphrase it. It's not an entry-level job for a TV commentator. It's a good thing, Jason Crow, that TV commentator has over 2 decades of military experience, 7 awards, 2 tours in combat, you scumbag idiot. And he can't delete that tweet now because he has no shame. If he were reasonably self-conscious, if he feared God, he would delete that tweet and say, my apologies. I didn't know who Hegseth was. I retract and I say he is more than qualified because he's more qualified than I am as military experience goes. Not that I would judge it, because it's sort of like comparing two things that, you know, ought to be immeasurably good. Moron is what he is, but it gets even, hold on. This is the internet that we live in, by the way. This is hilarious. This guy right here, Gabe. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Secretary of Defense. So we live in a world of the internet now where it's very difficult to know if someone is posting something in order to praise or to criticize. I mean, that's the level of parody having met reality. Someone posts this picture and you could say, okay, this is a guy celebrating a young man paying tribute to his fallen brothers and sisters, in good shape, good physique, pretty badass tattoos, carrying the American flag at the, I believe that's at the 9/11 commemorative monument in New York. Someone could be posting this to show what an amazing fit candidate this is. And someone could be showing it because they think it makes him look like bad for not wearing a shirt at the 9/11 memorial. I didn't know which way this was going. The person who posted it, don't know who they are. Very well built as well. So I don't know if this person is posting it to make fun or to make look good. But I had to go and find out what was the backdrop, what was the context. It's a very interesting context to that video. Because some people might say, and as I did see from the comments, so inappropriate not to be wearing a shirt at that memorial. It's so, what a conceited little show off. What's the word? Exhibitionist. Well, the reality is that he had just finished swimming across the Hudson River to commemorate and honor veterans. And he had swum across the Hudson with Navy SEALs. So check this out. I won't play the whole thing. I'll play it substantially. Here we go.
Giving hugs, saying hi. Pete, I was just doing, Pete.
Jeff, you saw me struggle last year. And by the way, mention that, but also how inspiring it is to be swimming with guys in this river.
Absolutely. It blows me away every time being out here with the Statue of Liberty, with all the fellow veterans, SEALs, Army, Marines. It's incredible. And then on our way to Manhattan to pay respects to everyone who gave the ultimate sacrifice fighting for our freedom over there.
Absolutely. This is a generation that never forgets what happened on that day at 9/11 2001. It's the front of mind for guys like this who have lost so many, done so many deployments, way more than me and most. They go to the most dangerous places in the world. They lose people, they leave them behind, but they never forget them. They don't leave them behind, but they lose them and they never forget them. And a swim like today, as much as it is about the GI Go Fund and vets homelessness and entrepreneurship and all those great things, it's about honoring the legacy of the guys you guys serve with.
So that's the context, people. I don't know if there was a run in addition to swimming across the Hudson. I've seen what floats down the Hudson. Holy crap, pun intended. I would not do that. So that's Pete Hegseth, who is, I believe an amazing pick, who will not have any trouble getting confirmation from the Senate. Who were the other good picks of the day? Marco Rubio, people. I know people are torn on Marco Rubio. There will not be one selection, one candidate who's going to please 75 million people. And there will not be one candidate who, at one point in their political careers, has said something that has either aged poorly, that they regret, or that turned out to be absolutely false. Where it becomes problematic is if it's fundamentally disqualifying. You don't get to vote for the impeachment of Donald Trump and then expect to be celebrated if Donald Trump were to ever be so silly as to appoint you to anything. If you called January 6th an insurrection, I will criticize that pick of anybody. Matt Gaetz, amazing pick. Tulsi Gabbard, wonderful, magnificent people to have in your cabinet. A director of national intelligence, DNI, couldn't be better.